and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Banished Vault run that we're doing. This is the second run, possibly the last part. It's going to depend on what the state of this hollowed planet is and sort of the difficulties of getting there and back. I don't see any hazards between us and it. If it is in fact the last hollowed planet that we need to do, I don't have a problem telling the android to burn 6th condition to max roll. So we're probably going to set the android up with a ship. Let's do with one of decent amount of conditions, so he's likely to get there, even if something runs into something hazardous, with what he needs to build the scriptorum, which is, I think, 2 alloy, 2 elixir. Yeah, 2 alloy, 2 elixir. Looking at our inventory, probably something I need to go and do more about if we were to hang around, is we probably want to build some more alloy. So we probably would be looking for iron, titanium, and silicon in the system, and fuel, so we can just explore the system. That's basically what we'd be doing. Burning straight to the planet is a 27 fuel burn. We could do there and back on the fuel. So... And we're probably not going to burn there and back, right? If he gets there, like legitimately gets there, there's nothing stopping him from just flopping the thing down. We win the game, right? He doesn't actually have to get back. If something does actually happen that stops us from winning, then we'll be happy to have the fuel to get him back. And if there's enough to get him back, there's probably enough to get him to wherever our fuel maker ends up being. Getting past 2 isn't that bad, but I'm not so sure about water on there. Getting back 4 is worse. That's a water source. That's a reasonable... So we're going to have to get another bottom system for it, but yeah, that should work. Oh. Thrust 2 requirement. So we can't burn all the way down there, because we can't run on that engine if we're going to do that. And if we're running the higher efficient, or the less efficient engine, I don't think we got the burn to get down there. We would if we gave them 2 full stacks. Oops. 2 full stacks. So, in the pursuit of successful completion, that's just what we're going to do. You have a task. It is... Though the Chronicle is something a little bit weird if you have the Android do it. I might actually have... Yeah, I'm going to take a risk. We got a 5 faith person. We'll send the 5 faith person down. It'll make a little bit of difference if it's a real hazard, but there's a potential there's no hazard there, so we'll do that burn. Next problem is if we're hanging around, we need fuel. And best prepare for the worst, because then you're pleasantly surprised when you get the best. So the best is he gets down there, the hazard is minimal enough, there's no risk of him failing, and he just fails, he just succeeds. Otherwise, we need to either bring in more alloy, depending upon what the hazard is, right? Maybe it's one of those, if we throw enough alloy at the problem, alloy and elixir at the problem, we succeed. We've got more elixir, we don't really have more alloy. So what we're looking for is alloy producer, which we can do in orbit. We just need to bring iron, titanium, and silicon somewhere. And we need water. We made a bunch of fuel, but we actually needed that fuel, right? We're mostly empty on fuel again. And looks like the easy planet's all the way at the bottom of the gravity well. all the way at the bottom of the gravity well. Right, so that's the minimum burn we want to do, which is a 2 fuel burn. Wouldn't be too bad to go from... Or no, it would be... well, that's a 2 fuel burn. That'd actually be 1 fuel burn. That's probably where we'd stop over if we're trying to go deep. Right. And then we can do... Take another turn, burn another fuel, get to there. So going straight to the fuel sources down here is 42, 41. That's not viable. But 2, 3, 4. Or no, 1, 2, 4. And then that's a 18, 8. Five to get in there, which is a 1 fuel burn, so that's a 9. So it's a minimum 9 to get there, or a minimum 9 fuel to either of those locations. On the small ship, because we had to send the one off the cargo drive to get down there. Yeah. And it's going to be even worse for even the bigger ships. I could send the Explorer down. We worked out it's going to be 9 for the other ships. It's possibly 9-ish for the Explorer as well. And then we can grab fuel. We could merge the fuel all into the... Or, well, no, I don't want to do that. 9 to go down, merge all the fuel into the cargo ship instead. Which needs a vaguely fuel-efficient engine. Oh, I could do with another caracal engine. Which we could probably build, right? That wouldn't be too hard to build up quickly. That would eat our last alloy. Meaning we'd be desperate for another alloy. Which is the alloy producer. Get the fuel going. Maybe wing it, just get the fuel going, and then... We got iron down there, we got silicon down there, we got titanium down there. So assuming the planets are vaguely viable, and we probably won't even be able to find out what those planets are before we win. Let's be fair. We're probably not going to figure out what those planets are before we win. So one of you guys are going to go in the shipyard. So that we can have a caracal engine. To go onto the planet to the cargo ship. Okay, I've got a rough idea. It might not work. You do a burn there. You do a burn there. Or could you could save 1 turn by burning to there. And if you're saving 1 turn, you're actually saving 1 fuel, so you could burn... there and get us basically the same info. And get us an idea of what that ship is. Okay. And now the hard one is determining what we want to put on the freighter. So I need... Let's say we want a stack of iron. And say a stack of titanium. And I'll bring a stack of water along. What that gives me is the opportunity, if something goes wrong, I can jump on one of the planets, throw up a fuel producer, with the iron and the titanium, and turn that water into fuel. So we can refuel en route. So the orbit's probably born. Yeah. Solid planet, but otherwise the orbit's born. And the planet has no hazards. So the whole overplanning I just did is overplanning. We don't need to worry about it because we win. Scriptorum. And then we don't get the weird Android one because we had a reasonably high faith person make it. A mirage. So the Chronicle is the Chronicle of the Rugia Vault. A mirage on the horizon drew the settlers from their landing zone. For weeks they traveled, and it never grew closer, until suddenly they happened upon a flat plain. The dim sun stood still overhead in the cloudless sky. The Rugia cannot approach a sun as many vaults do. It remains cautious, knowing the gloom pursues, even before it can be seen. The sun as seen from the viewer is small, only just larger than the distant stars. We soon lost contact with the stellar network. At first, the lack of incessant proclamations was welcome, but the silence grows overwhelming. The remnants of plant and animal life litter our journey, and the occasional machine discards. We maintain no contact with Anoth, but cannot verify the provenance of our finds either. So I can hit continue story, and we can end here. I want to see what's going on here. So the other ship was a Spire Chiliad, full of those one knowledge crystals. We didn't harvest them because this is the sort of thing that just happens. Like, yeah, your cargo hold's full. They got a Pardus engine there, 5-thrust Pardus engine, which if it had fuel would be acceptable. It of course has no fuel because it's full of worthless artifacts. Let's complete the story. Your story is ready. If you complete it, this journey in the vault will finish. And it is finished. The Chronicle is complete and inscribed into the record chambers deep within Erugia. It will transmit continually until death or the gloom takes it. This is the last written words of the surviving exiles. You have written a chronicle for the Erugia Vault, and your journey is complete. If you'd like to start a new journey, you have a new configurations available to just the starting point of the journey. So that is the journey completed on difficult. That's our second run. We've now gained 2 new options: resources in the vault and fuel in the vault. And I think this is the default settings, right? So default, it starts you with normal, zips in difficulty, and generous resources and fuel. We can turn this down. Down. And, oh, it only goes down to me. So, if we play this again, we're probably not gonna play on the same difficulty. What I might do is, I was finding the solar system difficulty being difficult somewhat interesting. I do like my generous fuel. What we might try is dropping the resources in the vault to meager or sufficient. But that'll be up for the next time we run this, which is not today. So this was a little bit of a short part. If you're watching us on YouTube, this is where this bit of the series is going to end. This Banished Vault run is now complete. Because it was such a short part, you could probably expect it to be a Shadow Empire part up today, which will be the first part of the new Shadow Empire run. I'm gonna do what people as a challenge, which is I'm gonna basically min-roll people on a large world and see how well that goes. We're gonna be very much asking the question, people? What people? We don't have no people on this planet. I suspect that's what we're gonna run into. It's gonna be very much like this Banished Vault run, where it's like, yeah, no, you get 4 or 5 people, big massive cathedral of a vault, but no people. But yeah, that's going to be what we're going to continue streaming later today. So if you're watching on Twitch, I would tell you to hang around, but I'm actually going to bring the Twitch stream down for the duration to make the cup of tea. So the stream will go back up when the cup of tea is made, and by then I should have the BIOS stuff updated, so it'll be showing Shadow Empire and that sort of stuff. If you're watching on YouTube again, there'll be a Shadow Empire part up today, and there'll probably be a Shadow Empire up tomorrow, because I'm going to try to record 2 parts. Because even though I've recorded 3 parts of Banished Vault, this part's real short. I'm going to give you basically a second part today. And then Twitch will get 2 parts of Shadow Empire. And we'll record them. So we'll get about 2 hours of Shadow Empire to go with the 2 hours of the Banished Vault we did. With that, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.